Booberry. By the way, this stuff is really good. But anyway, you guys, what's up? Chet the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with day 163 of my vlogging experience here in the state of Florida. Which also, today is day 3 of me celebrating the Halloween slash fall season with day 3. I think I've already said that. And for today's special, what we will be doing... What will you be doing, Chet? This is what we will be doing. We will be listening to some poetry of mine. You're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Poetry's boring. But no, it shows a little bit more of who I am as a writer and how I even got the name Dream Poet to begin with anyway. By the way, if you haven't seen my 100 Straight Days video, I suggest you all watch it. You know what? I'll put it in the links below. Why not? But I figured for this special, we would go over some poetry. And none of it's boring. A lot of it isn't mushy-gushy stuff. Actually, there are a lot of good things about it. And so, to begin this, you guys, we will recite one poem of mine, which is called Orange Leaves. We ready? We're ready. As fats... No, I'm not ready. Alright. The poem is titled Orange Leaves. As fall dashes through the Blue Ridge's blue skies, I await the whirlwind of orange fire that roars like a tornado in the fields, tender as a little girl who strings her fiddle while the days grow shorter and shorter. May the wind bellow, stripping the maples naked, the pine covering the barren land, as the whirlwind grows like a firebird made from the leaves. The scent of fresh pine finds itself as the aroma of fall in the mountains. That little girl's fiddle will be the last of summer, the valley sings. Right now, the old man sits in his kitchen, bottling the tomatoes and corn that grew on the ridge. The searing whirlwind is a beauty as the orange fire twists, rumbles, and crumbles. The preacher sets a campfire outside the church while the broken, the homeless, the deer, and the cattle grow nearer by the church house as winter draws near. The fall blasts a hue of orange that rivals that of the blue skies on Blue Ridge. The rivers drizzle, while the trout hike up the rocks, and that whirlwind of leaves brings me hope for an angelic portrait of a fall. I hope that firebird made from the leaves perches itself for a few more months before the orange whirlwind leaves. So, great way to start the fall. I hope you guys like it. In the comments below, let me know. And, we may do this again throughout the celebration of this 1-month series. But, now that we have started out with something a little more lighthearted, let's take a trip to the dark side. The dark side. And this poem from the darker side is titled Ghost Stories. Typical haunts conjure in the nearby hills. He put more wood on the fire. The wheat fields silent in a thicket fog. Not even the dogs go snooping in the smoggy Palmer County swamp. He put more wood on the fire. The campfire blares a safety flare, where a farmer awaits any travelers who have made it out of the hands of the Indians, whose souls are still burdened with vengeance. He put more wood on the fire. The farmer, he doesn't care just as long as there is no screamer and the fire doesn't go out. He could have sworn he once came across an old skull in the Indian rock house. He put more wood on the fire. An axe was plastered in its head. The souls of the natives, they still holler plaintive that they were done wrong. Demons gnaw at the lost. They ate them. Men, women, and children. And the bodies of the farmers had to bury them with the knowledge of the state. He began to run out of wood for the fire. In the night, black shadows wander the roads leading out of Palmer. The wraiths, they breathe as if alive, but dead. It was as the demons ate their souls and they became lost spirits on the side of the road. They say an old witch lived in the swamp, taken as a child, raped by the highwaymen, and left for dead. He no longer had wood for the fire. She called out to death and sold her soul. The darkness killed them, and that's how the swamp became an open hellhole. She still wanders a possessed corpse, yielding to death, gaunt as her eyes sunk back into her skull. The farmer's dogs howled by something moving in the hills. The constable once found 2 bodies hanging in the trees. The fire slowly began to go out. He set them on fire and said not a word. But the charred corpses, they followed him as they saw him on the side of the road. They didn't move at his direct command. However, he ran to one over and stood on its hind limbs. He swerved into the bog. The corpses disappeared. That's why the farmer guards the end of the road, and the constable refuses to venture into the swamp in the hills at night. The fire went out, and the farmer's luck went south. The dogs barked like crazy, as one of the ghost stories came out. And now that we have come to a close on ghost stories, we will now recite a poem that I would say is more friendly and geared towards children in the Halloween season. And especially it comes from a place not far from my hometown. And that place is called Dunlap, Tennessee. And the poem is called A Dunlap Halloween. I think I saw the dancing goblins that twirled in the night. Or maybe it was the whistling leaves that conceived a whirlwind in the streets. It was that time of the year in Dunlap. The house lights went out, and the old jack-o'-lanterns fluttered from the bottom of the gulf to the steep valleys of dark green hue. I waited for this time of year in Dunlap. Farmer Tom watched over his crops. The witches and heathens from Palmer County were bound to frolic in the shriveling corn stalks. The wind blows colder at this time of year in Dunlap. There might be troublemakers, but the town sure is alive. Every child from Sequatchie to Palmer take the candy from the mayor to the pastor's house. The people try to rustle up a few shrills and thrills from the children in Dunlap. I sit on the porch beside my dog, that lazy hound. I was sure one of those twirling leaves were the goblins who whistled from the railroad tracks abound. Perhaps I'll tell the story of the baron, the vagabond, who once roamed Dunlap. The ghosts from the Sunshine Mine just might make their appearance. They've resurfaced from the caverns to join the ghouls and specters of the sorts. I might save the story for next season. I might scare my friends before they leave Dunlap. The Halloween season has come. The jack-o'-lanterns are bound with a glowing light. The treasure trove of candy has been plucked from the houses. The ghost of Baron roams, just in search of his lover who died at the mine. The second best time of the year, the first time being Christmas. In the eyes of this child, I waited for it to reach the mountains of Dunlap. But you guys, I hope you all liked this special for my 31 days of Halloween / fall. 31 holiday. Oh, what is he trying to say? My 31 days of celebrating this month. I know it was a little different tonight, but I really wanted to do something original. Today was not a very special day in particular. I mostly worked, as it seems like I keep acquiring more and more hours in the upcoming months, which isn't a bad thing because that means I can actually acquire my equipment to make better video content quicker and faster. But you guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. In the comments below, let me know which one was your favorite, and I may do this again. I used a lot of photos that I know are not mine, but in the links below, I have tagged the artists and their portfolio just to show you all how talented these people that I found are. But you guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. It's a very interesting season, a very fun season, and I thought I would share something with you all on why I call myself the Dream Poet. So you guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That will put you in the loop on daily content here in my life in the state of Florida. Stay posted, stay tuned, keep in touch with me at Dream Poet at Facebook, as well as my Instagram in the links below. Thank you all for the love and support. I love you all very much. Peace, you guys.